Harry, you've worked hard to save up $100,000, but now you're stuck. Every investment option, stocks, bonds, and real estate, feels overwhelming, and the fear of making the wrong choice is holding you back. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Many investors like you face this crossroads, unsure of how to turn their hard-earned money into lasting wealth. You might even be tempted to park it in a savings account. After all, it feels safe. But here's the truth. While your money sits there, inflation is quietly eroding its value, taking away your chance to secure a brighter financial future. So, what if I told you there's a better way to grow that $100,000? By spreading it across 5 carefully selected Schwab ETFs, you could not only protect your money but transform it into an income-generating machine. $100,000 investment would grow to approximately $3 million in one of these ETFs after 30 years, with annual dividends of around $120,000. Schwab US Broad Market ETF, SCHB. The Schwab US Broad Market ETF, SCHB, is an exchange-traded fund that aims to track the performance of the Dow Jones U.S. Broad Stock Market Index, which includes approximately 95% of the investable U.S. equity market. As of recent data, SCHB has a total net asset value, NAV, of around $32.56 billion and a total expense ratio of just 0.03%, making it an extremely cost-effective option for investors. The fund's portfolio is highly diversified, consisting of around 2,474 holdings, with a weighted average market capitalization of approximately $877.46 billion. SCHB's portfolio turnover rate is relatively low at 3.26%, indicating minimal trading activity and lower associated costs. The fund's price-to-earnings (PE) ratio is 26.04, and its price-to-book PB ratio is 4.19, reflecting its broad market exposure. SCHB's performance has been solid, with a year-to-date YTD return of 12.34% and a 3-year annualized return of 10.45%. The fund's distribution yield is 1.24%, providing a modest income stream for investors. For an initial investment of $100,000 in SCHB, the investment would grow to approximately $295,458 after 10 years, $872,019 after 20 years, and $2,577,225 after 30 years. The annual dividend value after 10 years would be approximately $6,920. After 20 years, it would be around $20,412, and after 30 years, it would increase to around $60,279. Overall, SCHB offers investors broad exposure to the U.S. equity market with low costs and a diversified portfolio, making it an attractive option for long-term growth. Schwab US Large Cap ETF, SCHX. The Schwab US Large Cap ETF, SCHX, is an exchange-traded fund that aims to track the performance of the Dow Jones U.S. Large Cap Total Stock Market Index, which includes the largest 750 U.S. companies. SCHX has a total net asset value, NAV, of around $51.71 billion and a total expense ratio of just 0.03%, making it an extremely cost-effective option for investors. The fund's portfolio is highly diversified, consisting of around 755 holdings, with a weighted average market capitalization of approximately $940.13 billion. SCHX's portfolio turnover rate is relatively low at 3.38%, indicating minimal trading activity and lower associated costs. The fund's price-to-earnings (PE) ratio is 26.69, and its price-to-book (PB) ratio is 4.59, reflecting its broad market exposure. SCHX's performance has been solid, with a year-to-date YTD return of 12.34% and a 3-year annualized return of 10.45%. The fund's distribution yield is 1.23%, providing a modest income stream for investors. For an initial investment of $100,000 in SCHX, the investment would grow to approximately $300,000 to $4,366 after 10 years, $928,387 after 20 years, and $2,832,490 after 30 years. The annual dividend value after 10 years would be approximately $3,773. After 20 years, it would be around $11,515, and after 30 years, it would increase to around $35,123. Overall, SCHX offers investors broad exposure to the U.S. equity market with low costs and a diversified portfolio, making it an attractive option for long-term growth. Schwab Fundamental U.S. Broad Market ETF, FNDB. The Schwab Fundamental U.S. Broad Market ETF, FNDB, is managed by Charles Schwab Investment Management, Inc. It aims to track the performance of U.S. companies based on fundamental factors such as sales cash flow and dividends buybacks. The fund has a total expense ratio of 0.25% and a distribution yield of 1.70%. FNDB has a net asset value, NAV, of $24.41, a portfolio turnover rate of 11.10%, and a weighted average market capitalization of $465.33 billion. The fund's CAGR over the past 5 years is approximately 10.24%, and it has a beta of 1.00 compared to its benchmark. The payout ratio is around 1.70%, indicating the proportion of earnings paid out as dividends. The growth rate of the fund is consistent with its focus on value and yield factors, providing exposure to large-cap U.S. companies. For an initial investment of $100,000 in FNDB, the investment would grow to approximately $281,059 after 10 years, $791,108 after 20 years, and $2,226,532 after 30 years. The annual dividend value after 10 years would be around $12,329 after 20 years. It would be approximately $34,723, and after 30 years, it would be about $97,591. This ETF is a solid choice for investors looking for a diversified portfolio with a focus on fundamental factors and potential tax efficiency. Its low expense ratio and disciplined rebalancing process make it an attractive option for long-term growth. Schwab Fundamental U.S. Large Company ETF, FNDX. The Schwab Fundamental U.S. Large Company ETF, FNDX, is managed by Charles Schwab Investment Management, Inc. It aims to track the performance of large U.S. companies based on their fundamental size and weight, using the RFI Fundamental High Liquidity U.S. Large Index as its benchmark. The fund has a total expense ratio of 0.25% and a distribution yield of 1.72%. The portfolio includes top holdings like Apple Incorporated, 4.50%, Microsoft Corporation, 2.53%, and Berkshire Hathaway Inc., 2.17%. The fund's compound annual growth rate, CAGR, over the past 3 years is 10.44%, and its price-to-earnings ratio is 19.56. The payout ratio is 1.72%, and it has a beta of 1.00 compared to its benchmark. The fund's standard deviation over the past 3 years is 16.81%, indicating its volatility. If you were to invest $100,000 in FNDX, after 10 years, your investment would be worth approximately $259,374. After 20 years, the value would increase to around $672,750. And after 30 years, the value would increase to around $1,291,450. 30 years, it would reach approximately $1,744,940. In terms of annual dividends, with a distribution yield of 1.72%, your $100,000 investment would generate approximately $13,961 in annual dividends after 10 years, $36,183 after 20 years, and $93,170 after 30 years. This ETF offers a straightforward, low-cost investment option with potential tax efficiency and exposure to value and yield factors. It can serve as a core holding or complement to other investments in a diversified portfolio. Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF SDY. The Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF SDY is a popular investment option for those seeking exposure to high dividend-yielding U.S. companies. Managed by Schwab Asset Management, SDY aims to track the performance of the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index, which includes companies that have consistently paid dividends. SDY has a total net asset value of approximately $65.63 billion and an expense ratio of 0.06%. SDY's portfolio consists of 103 holdings, with top companies like Cisco Systems, Inc., 4.39%, BlackRock, Inc., 4.34%, and The Home Depot, Inc., 4.22%. The fund's weighted average market capitalization is around $134.28 billion, and it has a price-to-earnings ratio of 18.42. The fund's yield stands at 3.46%, with a distribution yield of 3.45%. The fund's performance has been solid, with a one-year return of 25.08% and a three-year return of 7.04%. The payout ratio, which measures the proportion of earnings paid out as dividends, is around 60%, suggesting a balance between returning profits to shareholders and reinvesting in the business. Assuming a $100,000 investment in SDY. After 10 years, the investment could grow to approximately $231,738, with annual dividends around $22,487. After 20 years, the investment could reach around $537,621, with annual dividends of approximately $52,131. After 30 years, the investment could grow to approximately $1,247,808, with annual dividends of around $120,844. In summary, SDY offers a compelling investment option for those seeking steady dividend income and long-term growth. By putting your money to work with Schwab ETFs, you're not just building a portfolio, you're building the life you've always dreamed of. Whether it's retiring early, traveling the world, or ensuring financial security for your family, your investment today lays the foundation for your tomorrow. So, Harry, what's your next move? Are you ready to let your money work harder for you? It's time to take control of your financial future with Charles Schwab ETFs.